Canyonlands National Park is a huge park. It has three primary entrances, all coming off of the east to northeast side, although there's one entrance that's pretty much a four-wheel drive primitive access into what's called the maze that comes in from the west side. We'll start the trip from the north end, driving north from Moab and then in on 313 down into the north unit. This is the north unit of Canyonlands National Park. To orientate you, we enter the park from the very northeast corner, that one road, and we come down right into the center, just about where you see the letters ON from Canyon. Focusing on the Y intersection in the center, to the left of that is a small road that goes to Willow Flat, which is where the only campground is, and a short distance from that is Green River Overlook. This is the view into Dead Horse State Park and to the north unit of Canyonlands National Park. This is the observation point or area for what's called the Monster and the Merrimack monuments. They're just coming into view now. I'm going to pan around about 180 degrees. Now this is just on the route getting to the parks. I've got another probably 15 miles before I get to those two parks off of the main highway coming from Moab. Anywhere else in the world, this would be it. This would be what the bus stops for, and then turns around and goes back to wherever it came from. Around the point here at the north end of Canyonlands National Park. There was supposed to have been a storm today, but I only had about 10 drops early this morning. Otherwise it's been just plain gorgeous, if not for the incredible wind. The sunset is supposed to be the most spectacular. And this shot is about an hour short of that. About 10 or 12 years ago, I rode the White Rim Trail, which you can see right over there. It wraps all around there and then back around behind that bluff, and then of course this way, the total distance about 100 miles. It's about 15 minutes before official sunrise, but there's so much dust in the wind that I doubt anything will be very dramatic. Soon campground up there. And it's the only campground in the north unit. It has only 11 campsites. And that, I believe, is the Green River down there. This is Mesa Arch, a little bit after sunrise. Tomorrow morning I'll come here and catch the sunrise. The challenge here is to take the shots unobstructed by the many of we photographers here. The Park Service, or the CCC, I don't think it's that old, done a nice job of making this trail a mix of cut stone, or at least broken stone, and natural rock topography. There is a gentle irony here. After a few months ago walking the finely made by hand stonework of the Incas, sparing no expense in labor to achieve that perfection within the limits of the tools they had. And what we have here, rough but square cut stones with intentionally not worked to perfection in order to obtain a kind of a rough yet human look that will fit in with the topography. And yet even here I find it interesting to notice some of the features. Notice there's drill hole there that talks of today's technology, and here a line, something similar in theory to what the Incas might have done, that defined where they wanted this rock to break. How we got this rock to break at this point, I don't know. Notice also, are those letters there? It looks like the letter F. Did they symbolize something on our part? Here's a lovely bit of modern stair. And yet attributes of the workmanship that would not have been tolerated by the Inca. For example, the cut holes, or the saw holes. This is an interesting stone. You can see that it's been made to have a curve, which took a little bit of imagination. Not much of a curve, but what I find interesting is this little knob. You can see where the cut line was proposed right across there to make it more or less straight, but since it didn't break, it was just left like that. I hope that's not an indicator of our society's lackadaisical attitude towards everything anymore, except for where the real money is: science, space, and so forth. One significant difference between the Inca and our stonework is we're working in sandstone, a very soft, easy to work stone, whereas the Incas worked in granite and a very hard stone, and with tools vastly inferior to ours. And just a side note, it's not my intent to say that ours is bad and theirs is good. It's simply to point out the differences in the need and the intention of the two different cultures in two different contexts. I always get a kick out of cairns and the designs because it reflects probably one individual's idea of their creativity in this context at that moment. And to me, that is very human. My BLM campsite alongside the Colorado River the night before I entered Arches National Park is just above the word Moab, where you see the dots indicating the scenic route, and that certainly is a scenic route. I'm probably about the fourth dot from the lower left up along that road. This is my campsite. This is my campsite at Negro Bill's BLM campsite, just a few miles up from Moab, where we kind of have to spend the night and then get to Arches by around 7 o'clock so we can be hopefully in line to get a campsite tomorrow up there. It is at the end of this road that we'll make a great early morning hike to Grandview Point Overlook. You can see just a little bit of that trail marked at the end of the road.